Within 18 days this April, North Korean hackers walked off with over $500 million in crypto without breaking a single line of code. Drift Protocol and Solana lost $285 million on April 1st, and on April 18th, Kelp DAO on Ethereum lost $292 million. This barely registers as surprising anymore. In the 12 months before April, North Korea had already stolen over $2 billion in crypto, including the $1.5 billion Bybit heist last February, bringing the all-time total past $6.75 billion. So why is a country where most citizens have never touched the open internet running the most sophisticated financial theft operation on the planet? Well, the answer, weirdly enough, starts with ink and paper. Long before North Korea was hacking blockchains, it was printing American money, and it was extraordinarily good at it. Starting in the late 1980s, a regime branch called Office 39 began producing counterfeit $100 bills so convincing that US intelligence gave them their own name, supernotes. Pyongyang had acquired a Swiss-made intaglio press, the same equipment the US Treasury itself uses, paired with chemically matched cotton linen paper. The Secret Service estimated about $45 million had actually entered circulation. A sovereign government running a counterfeit ring as official policy. And then came two body blows. In 2005, the US Treasury went after Banco Delta Asia, a small Macau bank that had been one of Pyongyang's key financial pipelines for moving counterfeit profits and regime funds. Only $25 million was frozen, but the signal mattered more. Banks worldwide cut ties with anything Pyongyang connected, and the regime's ability to move cash evaporated. In October 2013, the redesigned $100 bill rolled out with a 3D security ribbon no printing press on Earth can replicate, and that meant the supernote was dead. So picture where this left the regime. Couldn't print, couldn't bank, so they needed money that didn't require a bank, cross borders without touching the traditional financial system, and could also be acquired with nothing more than a laptop. Well, sounds like a description of cryptocurrency. And that is exactly why they pivoted. The drift hack is the clearest example we've ever seen of how this actually plays out. In the fall of 2025, a group showed up at a major crypto conference posing as a quantitative trading firm interested in integrating with Drift. Polished, technically fluent, verifiable backgrounds. Over the next 6 months, they kept showing up at conferences across multiple countries. They met contributors face to face. They talked strategy on Telegram and eventually deposited over $1 million of their own money into a vault on the protocol. They were investing in the relationship. Now, according to Drift's investigation, the people at those conferences weren't even North Korean. They were third-party cutouts hired to be the believable face of the operation. Meanwhile, the actual attackers were quietly gaining access behind the scenes, slipping malware to contributors through a fake code repository and a wallet app that looked legitimate. So, once inside, they used that access to get trusted members to unknowingly approve actions that gave them full administrative control. From there, they listed a worthless token as collateral, assigned it a fake price, and used it to borrow real assets out of the protocol's vault. The system accepted it all as valid, and within minutes, $285 million was gone. 17 days later, Kelp DAO got hit from a totally different direction. Kelp is a restaking protocol. Users deposit ETH and receive a token like RSETH representing their position. To move those assets between chains, it relies on Layer 0, a communication layer that tells one blockchain when to release funds based on activity on another. Now, the attackers didn't go after Kelp directly, they went after that communication layer. They took control of the system that confirms whether assets actually moved, cut off the honest sources, and made it report a transfer that never happened. In a bridge setup, that signal is treated as final. So kelp released real funds on the other side with nothing left to claw back. And this is where it gets genuinely dark. We throw around Lazarus Group like it's some rogue hacker collective, but the reality is far more uncomfortable. Lazarus is an umbrella term for multiple units under North Korea's Reconnaissance General Bureau, the regime's primary intelligence agency. Two of the most active are Trader, which the FBI has linked to the Ronin Bridge and Bybit hacks, and Famous Kalima, which placed operatives inside over 320 companies last year. Beyond the hacking units, the regime runs a forced labor program of over 100,000 workers across roughly 40 countries. A 2026 Global Rights Compliance report collected testimony from workers in Russia describing 12 to 16-hour shifts up to 364 days a year in shipping container dormitories with confiscated passports.
We were treated like animals, not humans. The other workers used to say we were just slaves for Kim Jong-un.
The state takes most of their wages, and the defection insurance is brutal. The regime preferentially sends married men with children abroad because if you run, your family is the one that pays. And yet, even with all of that, the operation keeps getting more sophisticated. Security researchers have documented these operatives using AI to deepfake their faces on video calls and juggle multiple remote jobs at once, funneling every paycheck back to Pyongyang. And all of it, the hacking, the fake jobs, the forced labor, feeds the same machine. White House officials and the UN have both estimated that cyber operations fund roughly half of North Korea's weapons programs. That $500 million that disappeared in April, that's missile money. And the ripple effects inside crypto are severe too. When kelp was drained, they used that collateral to borrow even more on Aave, and this time in real liquid ether. And once it became clear that the collateral was tied to an exploit, it couldn't be reliably sold or priced, and so liquidation failed. The borrowed funds were already gone, leaving Aave with the loss. Within 48 hours, billions started leaving the platform. Aave, Lido, and EtherFi had to organize a $160 million bailout just to stop the bleeding. But here is the strange paradox at the center of all of this. Every transaction North Korea makes on-chain is recorded permanently and publicly. ZachXBT traced the Bybit hack to Lazarus just within hours by matching wallet patterns from earlier exploits. The blockchain sees everything. So the problem was never visibility, it is speed. Lazarus can move stolen funds through Thorchain, through cross-chain bridges, through Chinese OTC desks faster than anyone can freeze them. And for a regime with no legitimate economy to protect and absolutely nothing left to lose, that speed gap is all the edge that they need. North Korea didn't choose crypto because it's anonymous. They chose it because for the most sanctioned nation on earth, it's the only financial system that still lets them through the door. And until that door closes faster than they can walk through it, they're going to keep coming back. So stay safe out there.